Hi everyone. I'd like to introduce you to some really fun things that you can do in Blackboard. I call this the sprinkles and icing tutorial. All right, let's get started. First of all, we have something called the point of entry. This announcement area is my point of entry for my dev shell that I've been working in. We could also create the dashboard homepage and work on it, put some information here at the page banner level, and make that the point of entry for your class. That way your students have access to some of the modules. If you click on Add Module, there's other modules you can add to the dashboard. So you're just going to have to go through some of those and see if there are some modules that make sense to you that you would like to add. A lot of times the defaults are just fine. This particular one, My Messages, is one that allows you to see if your students have actually sent you any messages using the message tool. This is different than the email tool. So when you get finished selecting, removing, or adding, then you can click OK. This is the default. These are the modules that are defaulted. You can actually drag and move these around, and you can actually, you're actually closing them, but if you wanted to get them back, you could go back here to the Add Course tool. If I was to click on this X, I'm not really deleting this module panel. I'm just hiding it, and again, I can go back to the Add Course module. What I like about having the dashboard homepage is it does light up and give your students and yourself some information about what's due, what's late, and if you scroll down here to the bottom, the What's New module lets you know if you have some new emails or if you have threaded discussions, blogs, or journals that are unread. Now, I also like the idea of being able to customize these areas. This is what I've done to customize it. So if you notice that you have the dashboard homepage, if you click on the drop-down chevron, you can go to Page Banner. Different than Edit. You need to go to Page Banner, and this is where you can actually put some information. Welcome to the class. I like to put some images. It's important to put some images throughout your class without being distracting. This is where I put my little welcome video tour. And so you will be learning how to create one if you already, unless you already have learned how to create one. You can actually bring it in. Remember, we can bring it in through YouTube. So this is where you could post that, and then you could use this as an announcement area. It will not be sent out to an email like the regular announcement area will be, and you could change this weekly. You could put some little announcements. The important point to this is that if you are going to use this as an announcement area, that you have this as the point of entry, which I will show you how to do in just a few minutes. Another area that you might want to edit is the name of dashboard homepage. Sometimes instructors have renamed this to welcome page or just the dashboard. So that's something that you could modify by going, again, I'll show you, to edit. So edit modifies or changes the name of this area. Page Banner will give you a content editor where you can actually put some announcements, welcome to the class, you can embed videos or a picture of yourself. All right, so let's go over to the announcement area. Right now in the class that I'm teaching, the cohort training class, I have the announcement area set as my point of entry. That means when you enter the course, you will see the announcements. Now to edit the announcement area, it's a drop-down chevron. Click on Edit, and this is where you can have a static area. The static area means that this announcement will stay above a bar. So you can put in a picture. I have a little banner image in mine. You can say duration of date not restricted. You could even send out an announcement. The interesting thing is most of the time a copy of the announcement goes out regardless. Now, as you can see, as I scroll down, I have this gray bar that appears. Anything above will stay static. That's why I have one static area here or announcement that will always stay at the top. Everything else will be below this line, and I like the idea of having the announcements just scroll down. So they're going to list in chronological order unless you set dates and times for them to show and hide. I like to have my announcements out there all the time. That way, if you've missed an announcement or you're not sure about what's been going on in week 4, you can scroll down back to week 4. Now I would like to show you how you can set either one of those areas as your point of entry. As you notice, I'm in the control panel here, and I'm going to select and expand the customization area. I'm going to go down here to teaching style. If you click on teaching style, there's going to be other areas that you're going to be able to modify. For example, the course structure. Above, you've been creating your course structure, but there are course structures you can assign to your shell, and then it will take over. And these are I guess you could consider these content areas. I haven't really shown you that because I think it's important for you to develop these areas on your own so you know how they work. This is where I really want you to look at for right now. Select course entry point. As you start developing content areas on your menu, they will start listing here. You have a choice. I have selected announcements. That means this is the area that the students will see when they first enter the course. Yes, I could change it to the dashboard homepage. I did have it as the point of entry when you first started the cohort, and then I changed. Now, selecting the course theme is fun. I consider that some icing here. And there's lots of different themes you can choose from. You may or may not have noticed that I've been changing the theme every week just to give you an idea of some of the things that you can do. I'm not recommending that. It might be too distracting, but I did want to show you that there were some different themes you could choose from. You can also get that a quick theme at the top of your menu in Blackboard up here, and I'll show you that when we're done in this area. Now here's some icing as well, and some sprinkles, some buttons. You can actually change the text to buttons, and you can actually select a color to go with your theme. And there's different shapes and colors and types. So check that out. That's kind of fun to be able to play with. As I scroll down here, you can make some decisions about the content view. I like the icon and the text, so I just make it, well, actually I just leave it as the default. And then yes, you can select a banner. I change banners, so I don't really use this area. I go into the welcome dashboard or the homepage dashboard, and I put my own image in. But you could have a permanent banner, and then that banner will appear at the top of the course entry point. So when you are done selecting some of the options, then you can click on submit and see the changes. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is a quick change of the course theme that you can do right here at the top as well. Some of you may have noticed over here in the menu area where you have your buttons and your content areas that if you keep the names short, they will show up on one line. Some of us use lengthy labels, and so just to let you know, this will change depending on the browser. Sometimes some things will wrap to the next line. So you might want to consider keeping some of these content areas that you're creating with short labels. Now, I get really excited about putting in images throughout my class, video clips, just really making it come alive with some images, pictures, things that are relevant to the topics that you're talking about. And if you would like to have a collection of some images, let me know. I have some other sites that are not necessarily involved in the mashups like Flickr that you might be interested in using some images. Usually when we use images that we get off some sites for logos and images, they are prepared for the web, and so they don't take up too much weight. I have seen some images that come straight off a camera, and if they're not prepared for the web, it takes a long time for them to load. We want things to be quickly loaded into the Blackboard classroom so your students aren't waiting for an image to appear. You might see that in some pages where it just takes time to load. We want it to snap, just to quickly load. I also like the idea, and some of you have done this, to actually put in some images even on the outside of your learning modules. And I do, if you can at all, I like the idea of putting some images in your threaded discussion areas if possible. Again, the more videos, the more images, pictures, just icons, things like that throughout your class, make it more visually appealing to the student and give them that warm human presence as well, especially if there's pictures of you involved in different activities. And so if you are interested in preparing some of the images that you have of yourself and they're not really prepared for the web or for an online environment, please let me know and I'll be happy to help you to prepare them for the web. So I hope you've enjoyed this sprinkles and icing lecture. We'll be doing some more of this together in the cohort. Thank you.